Hello everyone, my name is Dustin Mayfield and I'm an application engineer at Tech30. I will be talking a little bit today about the basic modeling process in Creo Parametric. This is tailored for people who are fairly new with CAD systems or they're coming from a different CAD system such as SolidWorks. We're showing you the basic 101 sketching and extrusion of a part in Parametric. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing you want to consider when you create a new part is the design intent of it. What is it going to be used for? What are the dimensions of it? What do we want to look like? So to do this, we have this key here, and we want to create another part and add it to an assembly that's the key handle of this part. So what do I mean for that? Well, there's this hole here, and we want to create a part and extrusion that goes through that hole. So what we can do is select this hole, and we can look at the dimensions of how it's created. So we can see here that it was placed about 5 inches below this top riser here, and the diameter of it's about 3.5 inches. So knowing the diameter is 3.5 inches, we can go ahead and create a handle for it as a new part. So now that we have our design intent covered, I have this little picture of what this key handle should look like. Right, so we see it's going to be about 3.5 inches in diameter, and it has some arbitrary length that we'll have to consider and talk about. Additionally, it has these 2 identical extrusions on each end, and if you look kind of closely, there's some rounds to it, right? It rounds out these edges so they're not as sharp. So taking all 3 of these requirements in our minds, we're going to go ahead and create a new part. So to do that in Creo, we go up to this new part icon, and we select part as the type, and it's going to be a solid. We're going to deselect use default template, and we're going to rename this as key handle, and I'll talk about why we had to deselect that in a second. So now we have these templates. Now these are all our start parts. They're basically empty parts. They have no geometry in them, but they identify some key features of what our part's going to have, mainly the unit system. You can go in and edit these to cover some additional features, which we will discuss in a later demonstration, but for now we want this MM and S part solid. When we hit OK, it opens up a new window, a new session where we can go ahead and create a handle. So if we go up here and we select all and turn all these on, we can see all the datums and the axes and all the center guides of where we can start creating our part. So what we want to do is click on this sketch icon up here, and then select which plane we're going to be sketching on. So in this case, we're going to be sketching on our front plane. And we're going to hit sketch. So now you see a little sketching section come up. This indicates that you can begin sketching, and we can see the different shapes we can put on this bar. So if we choose circle, go ahead and sketch out a circle, and middle mouse click, the dimension of this pops up. And as you can see, it says it's weak, which means it hasn't been identified exactly what it should be. And so it's up to it. It can be adjusted based on other parameters that we put in. But in this case, we're going to make it a strong dimension by actually saying what it should be. In this case, the diameter will be 3.5 inches. When we hit enter, it automatically will zoom us back in to what it should be. It scales it down for us. We'll go ahead and hit OK in the top right here. We'll hit extrude. Extrude just basically pulls out the part and gives it geometry, gives it a solid fill. And we'll set this extrusion to be about 15. So you can see that it's fully extruded here, and we hit this green check mark. This part is created. And for now, we're going to go ahead and hide these planes so it doesn't get in our way of sketching something else on top of it. The next part of this is we want to create those cylinder rounds, or those cylinder extrusions on the end of this part. So what we're going to do is we're going to do them individually. So we're going to hit the sketch button and choose our reference, which will be right on this end here. We'll hit sketch. Now we can go ahead and choose the circle again and sketch out some arbitrary circle. It doesn't have to be exact. Oops, I forgot to click. Left mouse click and then middle click to get up the dimensions. We're going to go ahead and type in 4.5 inches here. We're going to hit OK. We can then extrude this. Let's set this to be about 2.5 inches out. Now, this will be more exact when you have your engineering drawings. You'll have to follow that, but for right now, we're going to get an idea of what this handle should look like, and we can make adjustments as we go. So if we go to the other side of this, we can do the same thing. Click on Sketch, choose this area to sketch upon. hit sketch, and again draw out another circle. Middle mouse click, and set it to be about 4.5. Hit OK, extrude, and 2.5 here. Now once this is all done, we can take a look at it and figure out what else does it need. Well, we're missing the rounds on it. So if we go up to our rounding tool, up here in engineering, we can select the edges we want to be rounded. So we want this edge, and see if you click on it, it actually goes around the entire part. Right? We can select that edge as well. Hold down Control and select the remaining edges. So all these rounds are set to be about 0.15 inches in radius. Hit the green check mark, and it rounds these edges out so they're not as sharp. So taking a look at this, it looks about right. There's a few adjustments we could make here or there, and I kind of noticed that this shaft length is a little bit shorter than what we saw in the picture. So we're going to go and make an edit to this. To do that, you go into your model tree, which shows all the extrusions and all the features you've created already. We'll right-click on the extrude one, go to Edit Definition, and we're going to change this number to be about 25. We hit the green check mark, and the entire part regenerates into the new part, and it doesn't affect the other extrusions we put on the end of it. That's the basic modeling process, and with some design intent. The next steps would be to add this into an assembly with that key base, and we'll show that in a future demo. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.